Hi, this is Darren and this is Tip Tap Game Clash. Today we're checking out the title Demon's Till, a 90s throwback pinball game that wouldn't seem out of place on the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis. It seems to have plenty to offer for us gameplay freaks, and that's why we're going to jump into a full-on review for the PC version. Let's see how it goes. If you watched any of my previous videos, you're probably aware that I'm a bit of a 90s fanboy and also a bit of an indie lover. Mixing those two genres together, I'm also in an element of my own, and Demon's Till certainly brings that to the forefront. In the late 80s, there was a title called Revenge of the Gator that released on the original Game Boy. A few years later, Kirby's Pinball Land actually launched on the Game Boy as well, and both titles had one core ingredient. They both allowed for one table to have multiple sections to it. With each section on the table, it meant that there was different objectives that you needed to complete in order to rack up a higher score. The reason I talk about these two titles is that Demon's Till has kind of borrowed those mechanics, amplified it by like 100 and turned it into the beast it is. See, with Demon's Till you only have the one table, and again it's broken down into several core sections. While that doesn't seem to be like a lot compared to most games these days, for Demon's Till that's all you really need. As you're playing, different objectives will start to appear on the board, and it's important that you pay attention to exactly what's happening on that table. Both vocal and visual guidance will be given to those core objectives, and these are crucial in order to unlock multipliers in order to get your score higher and higher. The challenge therefore is trying to keep up with these objectives. As you're playing, a number of enemies will start to appear on the table, and these will let off a number of particle effects, explosions, pretty much everything that you don't want to keep an eye on where the ball is and where you're trying to get to next. This is what makes Demon's Till so addictive though. Every mistake you make is your own fault. With its tight play mechanics and responsive controls, you could even say it plays in similar ways to the likes of Celeste, that mountain climbing platform game that is unforgiving if you make one mistake. See, that's the thing about Demon's Till that probably doesn't seem to come across in most reviews. While yes, it is a pinball game, when you're playing it feels like something completely different. When taking down multiple enemies, it certainly feels like an old school shoot 'em up. Predicting where your ball's going to fly off to when you hit that flipper is like doing a well-timed jump. If you play games for that gameplay experience, then Demon's Till has you covered. This is pure perfection in every sense of that word. This is not your Fortnites, your Call of Duties, your FIFAs. This is about precision control at its maximum in order to give you a game that responds to your every control, and it's bloody epic. If you've not had a chance to play the likes of Fortnite or even Tetris 99, where you just keep thinking, I'll do one more game will be my last, Demon's Till has that addictive quirk to it as well. You just want to keep going to see if you can edge that high score a bit higher from your previous go. Every time you die suddenly, you want to start again because you realise you made that mistake. It's unforgiving, it's painful, but it's perfect. And I've still not even spoken about the best part yet, which is the audio. And it's awesome. Every audio sound is ear candy. This is like a Sega Mega Drive or Genesis system has been broken apart. They've taken the sound chips and slapped the game engine through it to kind of give your ears this complete bliss of 90s nostalgia. It is heaven in every possible way that you could dream of if you're into 90s games, that is. Even the audio has that weird cackly sound that reminisces to the early 90s. The complete sound score, to me, is just pure joy. It's heavy rock, which wouldn't normally be in my playlist, but in this case, I will say I love it. If you are grabbing this on the PC, make no mistake, this is a worthy investment. At the moment it is on the Xbox Games Pass, so that does mean that you can play the game for free without anything other than your monthly membership, which is great. And additionally, if you thought that was enough, you get achievement points, so your gamer score is going to look sweet as well. If you don't have a PC, fear not. Demon's Tilt is now available on pretty much every platform, including the Nintendo Switch, which means you can play Demon's Tilt on the go. If you're looking for an addictive casual game, Demon's Tilt is certainly the one to get. It's a title that you will keep coming back to just for a casual playthrough, which will end up swallowing so much of your time that you might need to join an anonymous addiction group. There are some negatives which I should point out. These are minor, so just bear with me. The first one being the resolution. So no matter what I kind of set it on, it always seems to go back to 1080p and only 60 MHz refresh. And on rare occasions, and it really is rare, occasionally, I don't know why this is, it just sounds really pathetic when I bring this up now, my right flipper doesn't seem to be very responsive, and it just happens every now and again. I would point out though, this is just when I'm using a controller. If I'm using the keyboard, I've not noticed this at all. So it's just controller based, I've had this one problem with the right flipper. There, I've said it. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give us a like or a thumbs up. Also, if you want to keep up to date with all our latest reviews, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it immensely. And just as a refresher, this is Darren and this is Tip Tap Game Clash. Thanks again for watching.